Why is the Book of Mormon written in Old English? When new readers first pick up the Book of Mormon, they are often surprised by the fact that it reads very similarly to the King James Version of the Bible. This was intentional, and I look forward to discussing just why the Book of Mormon was written in early modern English.
I promise that as you ponder what you study, the windows of heaven will open, and you will receive answers to your own questions.
Now, the first thing that we need to discuss is that while the Book of Mormon contains Elizabethan-era phrasing, it is not Old English. Old English is Anglo-Saxon and is unreadable to modern speakers. But rather, early modern English is the same style used in the King James Version of the Bible. You will notice words like hath instead of has. His brethren rebelleth. Hearts delighteth. Gentiles knoweth. This stylistic choice in the Book of Mormon was made to reflect the King James Version of the Bible, which was considered the standard sacred text of the early American frontier. Now, translating is a very interesting game because an idea can be communicated in several different ways. For example, take something as simple as, I am hungry. This could really be communicated in any of the following ways. I want food. I need food. I hunger. I want to eat. I'm ready for dinner. What's cooking, honey? All of them point to the same idea. When translators translate, they have to either do a word-for-word translation or a thought-for-thought translation. The word-for-word method often does a better job of accurately capturing the exact phraseology being used by the author. But doing so may sound clunky and unfamiliar to the reader. Alternatively, a thought-for-thought method finds better ways of expressing the same ideas, but in a way that is familiar to the reader. Recently, I heard Terrell Givens say it this way. You can either move the reader toward the author, requiring the reader to adapt to the original context, language, and worldview, or you can move the author toward the reader, reformulating the author's world in terms relevant to the audience. Given the fact that a stylistic decision has been made regarding the Book of Mormon, we can assume that the Book of Mormon translation was a thought-for-thought translation. If that is the case, then we can ask, why was this decision made? In 1830, when the Book of Mormon was published, the Bible was the most read and recognizable book. Using that same biblical language helped the text sound authoritative, legitimate, and sacred to the readers of that time. It provided a sense of authenticity and familiarity. And since the Book of Mormon was intended to act as an additional witness of Jesus Christ and a companion to the Bible, by matching to the King James Version style, it became easy to cross-reference pages, particularly when the Book of Mormon quotes large passages of Isaiah and draws from similar texts like the Ten Commandments of God found in Exodus. Now, I personally believe that that decision to have it translated in a thought-for-thought manner, in a style consistent with the King James Version of the Bible, was inspired by God, perhaps even commanded by God to do it in that way. That's something that we won't know for sure. But since Joseph Smith was learning the Book of Mormon as he was going through the translation process, I hope this gives you some kind of clarity as to why the Book of Mormon sounds like Old English. What was familiar then isn't so familiar now, since we now speak in modern English. And perhaps in the near future we'll have a version of the Book of Mormon, a thought-for-thought version of the Book of Mormon that is done in more plain English. Time will tell. Now, if you like what you're seeing, you may like this longer episode that we've created about the differences between the Bible and the Book of Mormon. Stay tuned.